Okay, hi everyone. Sorry for the delay, but I had to fix my setup as I had some issues yesterday and I forgot to fix that prior the workout. So let me start the companion so I can give kudos to the other people. Today's workout, you can see it on the top. It's called Boarstone. It looks easy, but it's not. First, it's long, 2 hours. Then it's I'm not going to do any hard efforts, but I'm going to do long, steady efforts. Most of the time it's a problem. Some wind, so I can stay cool. Get some food here. I have my gloves that I'm going to use a little bit later when I get a little bit warmer. So I think everything is ready to go. I can start my Zwift, of course. I'll probably do the Prudential Ride London loop. Half of the race should be about 70 kilometers. Let's go in. So it looks like all set. This device appeared. It's working. It's mid-air. Can move a little bit like that. I think that's fine. Okay, that looks good. Okay, and we can go. First, we start always with the warm-up. Warm-up is very important. Okay. I had also some issues yesterday with my heart rate. I believe it was because of the batteries. So I changed the batteries today. It's only one battery, sorry. Heart rate chest strap. So I hope that I won't have any issues today with it. Let's give some kudos to my friends that are online. Okay, so a lot of kudos today since the beginning. do some changes. Okay, so I think you're all good. Okay, so I can now concentrate on the workout. Okay, so you can see I'm still warming up. Still at only 177 watts. Little change of course. 195, still warming up. Don't really like my view, how I look. So let me change. Don't know what frame I'm using. Don't know what this jersey. I know why I'm wearing this. Okay, doesn't matter. I'm just get my usual one. Not that one. Okay, so where we are, 8 minutes into the workout. I have prepared some food. So I have some homemade energy wake up bar made of rice, maple syrup, honey, and some dry fruits, mostly apricot, raisins, etc. So that's about 120 grams, and it's got about 55-60 grams of carbs plus everything else. I also have 160 Science and Sports energy bar just in case I get hungry at the end of the workout. I'm going to have half of my bar when I do 30 minutes and the other half when I do 1 hour, 60 minutes. When you're doing workouts longer than 1 hour and 15 minutes, maximum 1 hour and a half you can do without any food. Then if you do longer, it's better to have some sugar. The sugar that you have in your body is enough for about 1 hour and 15 minutes of heavy ride, of course. You should not forget to drink water during your rides. It's very important. So have enough water for the whole ride. Minimum of half a liter per an hour. At the moment I've got about 1 liter, 300 milliliters. It's more than enough for 2-hour ride. Got some more wind here. 2 fans. One is for my lower part of the body and one for the upper part. So good to have enough wind against you so I can keep cool yourself. I think I might maybe using my draft probably a little bit later. So I can have a power up, which is the draft. That increases your draft by 15% for I think 25 seconds. So because the game simulates drafts when you're riding behind a cyclist or in a group, it just increases the draft. So it is useless if there is no one in front of you. So in fact this week, the whole week I'm doing just recovery rides. This is not exactly a recovery ride, but it's still better than what's waiting for me the next week. So next week on Tuesday, I'm always having a rest on Monday, just doing some yoga. So I think I'm going for the jersey at the moment. Don't know why when I'm just feeling so easy, but that's what it showed me anyway. So next week I start on Tuesday with the run test, 50 test. I'll be online doing it. Then the really proper workout starts. Because it's already the build sessions coming. Until now it was only the base sessions. So I did the base for 4 weeks. This is my 4th week, or even 5th. 4 week I did the sessions, 5th week recovery, and then I start with the build for another, I believe 6 weeks. For as long as I can see how long I'm doing this interval. Must be the first interval. I'm doing about 3 watts per kilogram, 9.9. It's easy. There's one passing by me, definitely faster than me. The guys are definitely faster than me. I can see that, okay. The best time today is about 6:22. Going to do it for 8 minutes 30 seconds about. Here's that. Not sure how long it is to the final, but start going down. So if I can get someone start the draft, great. Yeah. So in fact, not that I need it. The reason for starting is okay. So the reason to start it is because I don't actually need it, and I'm going to get a new one after I pass at the start finish line. You can see 10 minutes. Okay. Satellite, we don't need to the downhill. So continue to push it to 114 watts, which is easy. Let's use the feather light so it can become lighter. You can see 3.5 for kilogram because of the feather light. Then we went back to 3. One gave us slide on. Looking at the weather, it's wet. Reminds me this morning, windy, heavy rain. God. Everything you don't want when you're outside. It was a cold wind. It was very cold as well. That's what usually happens when you're not looking what you're doing. So for that, just playing around with the settings. Okay, a little bit more and I'll have some food. Some more than going hot, 198 watts. Easy peasy. So set the times. Not important, but fighting to do good lap times. Okay, lap 29. Serious. No power ups for me. Probably I got the 10 plus 10 XP. Which I don't need. Okay, I've done 30 minutes, ready to have some food. So, this is what I'm going to have. As I told you, it's a rice bar, rice with the maple syrup, dry fruits, and honey. Going to appear for a moment. See you in a few minutes. Came back again. Full. So the bar should give me about 25-30 carbs. I mean half of it, because I had only half of it. I'm going to have the other half in 30 to 45 minutes. By the way, today I started my verification process for the Koa Sports League. So hopefully soon I'll be a verified rider, and I'll be able to take part in their competitions, their races. I will compete probably in the B group, as my SP is a little bit above 4. So Swift Power says lowest group B, but almost A. So I'm not actually A. So how to be allowed to race in B group? If not, I have to race in A, which I can tell is very hard. There. B group is hard. I don't know what to say about A. Where are we? At the end of this set, only 5 minutes to go. Until the end of this one. Then we start the next, which seems to be the same as the previous one. Then I have a little bit harder one, fourth one. And then the sixth one is the same as the fourth one. They don't really seem to be very heavy. The thing that the workout is long might make them heavier than what they look like. I think that a friend of mine streaming, naming the Godfrogger in Twitch. Go and check him, the Godfrogger. So just write down search Godfrogger and you find him. Oh no, he's offline at the moment. He used to be online, definitely. But at the moment. Might have erased. So yeah. So he's not in at the moment. Star, hi. Saw that you're in, watching the on Twitch. Okay, not really looking at there. I will have to put on my gloves in a few minutes. So my hands are already getting wet. I see that some people are just using their towels on their handlebars. The thing is that on my handlebar, I've got too many things. Got my phone, using for the companion, Swiss companion, which is to operate from here. And then I've got my keyboard, which I don't really use very often, but it's just some needed sometimes. This is the second time we climb this hill. I will have to do it 4 times today. Maybe more. I need to do 4 laps. Plus additional a little bit more. Just had a drop of my power on my training road. It recovered immediately. It's good. Give some kudos. Okay, so we're getting higher. It's 214. Still not that difficult. Just stay steady. 3 watts per kilogram. Nothing complicated. Heart rate is low. Perfect. Thanks for the kudos. Let me get back. Can't hit it. Hey! That's one of the things that I don't really like about Zwift. Somebody gives you a kudos. It shows on your right hand side. So you can give him a kudos right back immediately. What's the problem that because it's changing positions. For example, seated on. Changing. Oh, so this one didn't move. But start changing positions very often. Can't really hit it. So yeah, it's annoying sometimes. always a good thing to give kudos to other people. The kudos are, I believe, important in this game. Just do it for fun. Those people that are in deserves that. If people are in their homes, cycling, playing sport, not being out, it's a good thing at the moment. Now that the coronavirus is still around. Oh, 46 minutes into the workout. 1 hour 14 left. I see someone's giving us kudos. Okay, so I can see this community is live. Just gonna turn that one on, so you can watch it. Much better when you can watch something. Just turn it on with a lower quality. Let's go to Facebook.
North American Pro Conti teams. Starts the Pros Closet as well with their jumping in here up against teams like Legion, up against Tag, up against Red Truck. I mean, this is going to be an interesting day, that's for sure. As far as who's going to be marking who, and making a prediction is going to be very difficult, that's for sure. Christian McGlinchey, though, is definitely one I watch out for. He's a rider, and when it comes to races like this on Zwift, so far he has come out on top over and over and over again. Venus Pro Cycling, I think, have set themselves up well for a good GC standing at the end of this three stages.
Completely agree. He might be the biggest problem that they have at Ceres.
We'll try something. I'm not sure if it will work.
Really, their trend
may work, it may not.
And are race leaders, but yeah, McGlinchey has to be.
Let's try. So I will add the browser here. The browser too. So now, unfortunately, it doesn't work this way. Let's delete it. Let's try another thing.
Rudderham's a very strong rider, along with the aforementioned Travis Samuel. So that's a Toronto Hustle I'm talking about. They're a team that's in the mix.
Get off the start line. What's going on? I just wanted. I didn't want to highlight that too much, but I went to go click on Dan in the background here.
This is
and
horrible.
He's saying this. It's too bad to see. This is a rider too. They really could have used out there. Sorry to see that Dan's
Who's his internet provider?
Yeah, I have to wait and see what's going on there, because I was just going to jump back real quickly and just see what was going on with Dan, because I saw his name, and bam, he's sitting in the...
Gosh.
Nathan,
I'm really bummed out. He's one of my favorite riders. I thought he would have done very well out there today.
This is definitely him and McGlinchey. I think both of them coming out of the UK. I mean, very strong climbers, and I think they both would have been amazing on the day. So too bad to see some sort of maybe had to get to the kiddos. Speaking of dads inside riding trainers, I know.
Right.
So.
You never know when you've got a situation emergency going on in your house, right? We were talking yesterday about the Matt Stevens having a squire, right, with him, because you just can't quite do this alone. You need almost someone in the feed zone for you. You certainly do in real life. This is a really typically hard, windy day. Obviously, we take the wind factor out, but we don't take the hard factor out. I think, Nathan, what you removed for this was the course that blew Mara Abbott, the amazing climber, and was really the queen of the hill. This blew her off the road on this course. One of the windiest days of racing traditionally that you would see. It looks like it out there as we look at Brian McCulloch. Again, Brian, Big Wheel Coaching, he and his wife Joy do their parents now. They just do a tremendous job representing the Elevate team. Elevate Webplex is one of America's longest running, most successful professional cycling teams. They deserve a lot of credit for the work they're doing. And Brian has been a long time cornerstone of that squad, Nathan.
Looking through here now, Brian struggling a little bit earlier on. Maybe he's just trying to find a good wheel and not putting too much work in early on, though. Maybe trying to play things smart. But one team that is making their way to the front now that we were just talking about. On the front end of the pelotons, the first time that we hit the climb here, going into Titans Grove. This climb is not going to be severe, 2.2% gradient, and we'll take a quick look at the course map one more time here to give everybody an idea of where we're at. 70K total, a lot of climbing on the day. This is the first one of, I believe we got 7 total here. just going to double check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excuse me, not 7, 5. But here is the climbs on the day. They're heading into that first climb, 2.6 kilometers at a 2.2% gradient. Lots of little undulations. They did just do that first little kick, not the official. The red is where the official KOM starts, from bottom to top, that will show the leaderboard on when it comes to the KOMs. Okay. There are points available over the KOMs and the sprints as well, so we'll have to get some more information from our RD on that. But the so they're going to be battling too as well over some of these KOMs. That's another thing that's going to open this race up a lot. But yeah, first
so
one we're heading into the Titans Grove KOM.
Just
forward
race or something.
Is what we're heading into right now for the men, and they're setting themselves up well. Positioning is going to matter, and they're not messing around. I mean, look at the situation here at the back. Look, well, the front obviously here, but at the back, mayhem already, and this is going to be a long day in the saddle for some of these boys. I mean, look, Rainier is off the back. Noonan's just hanging on here. We see Gateway here with Boarstone here. I mean, what is going on? This is absolutely flying. I think some of these riders were just hanging on for quite a while with that incredibly fast, what we were talking about, almost like a crosswind situation on the flat sections of Fuego Flats earlier.
Wow, I am sitting here absolutely stunned right now, Nathan. This is unlike anything that you would see in real life, that's for sure. These guys are absolutely having added a bare-knuckle brawl going on the front of this bike race. I mean, we are, again, only 12 kilometers into what's going to be a 70-kilometer event with significant amounts of climbing. As they continue to apply the pressure here, Nathan, we got to take a look at who's making the race. What are the tactics and strategy? Tactic is going to be a big part of how you win out here. We talk about the experience that Ceres, the Pros Closet team, has. This is another squad now out of England. I think almost all, if not all, of the riders are in the United Kingdom. Talking about Team for 2000 Callus, they were the 5th place squad. So Nathan, yesterday Toronto Hustle and this team were within 8 seconds of each other, and it looks like Toronto Hustle is also one of the squads that has been very aggressive out here. So again, very noteworthy start. I did not expect them to go out this hard, Nathan. I absolutely am stunned right now. If they want to race at this pace, we're going to have bodies lying all over Silver City when these guys finish, because I can't imagine how we have a group larger than 10 heading into 10K to go if they're going to race like this.
Yeah, we are seeing Alexis Gurin now, IDF now, making way to the front. It looks like 172 beats per minute. Now, the official climb is just about to start here, and you'll see a little red banner on the right-hand side. I believe they went past the T-Rex maybe already here, but they're really getting into the climb here now, as you can see. And at the section coming up here in the upper right-hand corner, you can see the gradients that they're currently experiencing, and the little sidewinder, the little chicanes up in the upper right-hand corner, that's where the pressure really starts to kick in. That's the second half of this climb, and that's when things, I think, are really going to heat up. We're about to get into it here, though, as that it's going to be the little 2% is going to bump into 4 in just a second here, and I think riders, a second kick will start here in just a moment as we head under this little underpass now. Venus Pro Cycling now toward the front, it looks like. Alexis Gurin, though, continues on. 170 beats per minute, 500 watts now. Just wants to really press this pace here early on to try and separate things out. I think he senses that there is already some blood in the water, and he is hungry, it seems like, at this point, to just try and break as many riders as he can early on.
Yeah, well, let's see who wants to go with him. Again, it's going to be a long slog here. Nathan, if you had to guess, in real life, how many water bottles would you have lined up? How would you even manage that if you didn't have someone there to run and grab what you needed for you? I'm going to guess you'd set up some kind of a stool or a bench next to you. How many water bottles would you expect you'd use for what's going to be 2 hours of the saddle here?
Yeah, so I would at least have one for each half an hour at least. So 4, maybe,
so
probably 5. Minimum? I would have five water bottles, and I would have a gel for every 20 minutes. I'd have a gel or some sort of sugar for every 20 minutes.
Yeah, good, smart. I think that's a very, so I was looking at Peter Stetna talking about his Cliff Bar stuff, and how really the maximum amount that you can ingest and hope to use when you talk about calories is for an athlete that weighs 60 kilograms. Yeah, you're talking not even 400 calories per hour is manageable. Anything more than that, you're really going to start having a problem with your stomach. I would think, more than anything. So, managing that hydration this is a long. I mean, Nathan, how many times do you race 2 hours? Not often, correct? For these guys, this is once every 40 races, I would say, you're out there this long. What do you think on that?
So as far as these races go, as far as Zwift races go,
I know that there's races that are 24 hours, but
most Zwift races are going to be right around the 45 to an hour and 15 tops. So yes, It is not the specialty of Zwift races. Now, KISS 100. Each weekend, you're looking at about an hour 50 to 2 hours and 20 minutes, the 100K races. But the more popular way of racing out on Zwift is most definitely going to be that right around sub 1 hour, right to 1 hour, a little bit over. So I personally enjoy the little bit longer. And actually, the in real life Pro Conti teams were requesting, can we get something that, if we're going to put this on the line here, as we come over the top of the KOM, we'll take a quick look at the times. But
that's Ryan Rutterham. Yeah, no, go ahead. If we're going to put this on the line, what would they say?
On the line. They were saying they wanted something a little longer. They were like, this is to the advantage of these indoor specialists. We want something that's going to get people a little tired. I was hearing from some of these in real life pro teams, like, we're used to something of racing for up to 2 hours, hour and a half. Like, let's go to our wheelhouse a little bit more for our fitness. So that specifically, totally the race director Eric Hill was saying, that's why they put these on the roster on the stages. These courses specifically aiming at making it just really difficult, race of attrition a little bit more. And a lot of times when we're talking to the in real life elite racers as well, especially the Europeans, when I'm racing against them, they love the KISS 100 as far as their training goes. Jumping into those 100K plus or so races as well is just a really great simulation of what they experience in real life when it comes to road racing.
Yeah, so Tyler Williams up there for the Legion team. It's going to be interesting to see how they manage things today. He's a very strong rider. Tyler Williams doesn't get enough credit, that's for sure. He's out of Northern California, has ridden, in that World Tour arena, I would say, with the Israel Cycling Academy, the team that we see Travis McCabe on now. There's another Canadian team. Boy, the Canadians are well represented in this peloton.
Look at this split again.
Chasing
again
rider,
and again. Look at this. DC Bank, Cotes off the back. Project Echelon with Lutz. They come into this 8% gradient kick right here. Red Truck there now right on the back, but they're dropping like flies. We're down to, I think, like 50 riders or so.
Holy cow. Yeah, boy, Nathan, 20 minutes in. So you think about it, anticipating, about an hour, let's say an hour 45 to an hour 50 out here. So, we're just getting we haven't even hit the first feed zone if this were in real life right now. It looks like they're almost rolling through Pinos Altos, where the historic opera house. Think about that, Nathan. Go see an opera in Silver City 120 years ago up at Pinos Altos, where there's this unbelievable, if you ever do get down there to Grant County, you have to make sure you go up to Pinos Altos and have dinner. That is one of the coolest experiences. That's where the final stage finishes. That'll be tomorrow's stage at the Tour of the Hill. Look at this, Nathan. This group is tiny. Okay, this Chase 1 is coming together.
So there's a bunch of stragglers in between this group and the main peloton. Okay, so we're looking at Ebby from Ladness Trek trying to lead things out. This is that 8% gradient kick I was talking about a little bit earlier. You can see kind of in the upper right-hand corner. It'll be kind of small for everybody. But in the upper right-hand corner, you can see where these riders are at. The rider I currently have selected will be the little orange tag. And they're just coming over that last bump in Titans Grove. And up ahead, you can see how far ahead. The main peloton is the white at the of Titans Grove. They've got a solid almost minute over this group now at this point, a minute and 8. And in between, there's a little group forming. It's got it's going to be Warren, Subaru Trek Santa Monica, one of the riders from there. It's going to be also a tag cycling rider there. So they're going to pick up, I think, another group that's another 28 seconds up because this is such a large group. They're going to work together, and we're going to have a chase group of probably, it looks like, maybe 30 to 40 riders. Main peloton, though, up ahead, about to leave Titans Grove. Let's jump up back with them. 8th place here, 10th place. Riddle here now. This is the main peloton. Much larger, and I think they're going to keep rolling away unless they calm down and start looking at each other, which I wouldn't be surprised with how hard they went out that they do calm down, Dave.
You'd expect there's going to be some of that, Nathan, for sure. I can't imagine how you'd... if you're racing, your spirits have to be being crushed right now. If we're going to go this hard, it is going to be insane. As they say, when you're going through hell, keep going. I think for half of the guys in this group, Nathan, that's the mindset they have right now. I saw Corey Williams was getting up in the rotation on the front. Excuse me, I mean Corey Lockwood, actually, another Legion rider, teammate. He's out of Bakersfield, California. He's a reigning national champion in the time trial discipline. He's the ID. Well, I don't know how much of a draft you get. He's so aerodynamic. Reminds me of Dave Zabriskie, actually, how much work he's done on the bike to have that unbelievable form and be able to sustain that for hours on end. But Corey Lockwood is a guy to watch out for today for sure. Nathan,
talk about an area though coming out of Bakersfield. That's as far as one place I've ridden in California. I've ridden a lot of Bakersfield. I had a coach and a friend there, and that is some amazing. This is gonna suit him, I think, too. I can see why he'd be an amazing TT specialist. You've got mountain ranges for days, but flats leading into those mountain ranges, because Bakersfield proper, the city, is just flat as can be as you head out over toward past all the orange trees toward the mountains.
Exactly.
So he's gonna have
there's all those oil. The oil rig things too. Remember those?
Yeah, beautiful country.
Yeah, it looks like a Star Wars set when you look one direction, and it's really interesting place for sure. Peter Sagan won a stage in the Tour of California there when he was 20 years old, just kind of starting off his career. A lot of history in California. I love it, Nathan. So
they're going to be heading, it looks like, over toward the next climb that's on the docket here as we look at the lead group. It looks like Gueron's suffering a little bit off the back after those early attacks. This is the rider. Alexis Gueron was the rider who was aggressive early on. Now off the back a little bit, maybe just trying to find a draft 154, but they're going to be heading on over toward the next climbs.
Nathan,
and
that's what it looks like when you reach
forward.
When you reach to your stool to get a water bottle and you back off the watch for just a second, right?
Yeah.
It's funny when you start to Zwift, you realize how hard it is to keep the pressure on the pedals 24/7, 365. No one can do it. So, all right, Nathan, we're looking at a group now. I think they maybe are just, settling down. They're all sitting in the 4 watts per kilo range right now. I highly recommend for our friends that are joining us, and I see a lot, the numbers last night were out of this world. Thank you so much for everyone who joins and watches. If you've never Zwifted, you got to try it. Come on. You know you want to. I think, Nathan, for me, it was just such a cool moment when I realized, after doing it a few times, when you're like, I'm now actually a Zwifter, a Wahooligan. I love that, the feeling of being involved in this community. It's great. So join us. If you haven't ever ridden, you'll be really impressed at how hard this is. I think, Nathan, the reality check of what it takes to make the watts that these guys are doing right now, it is brutal. I don't want to oversell it, but really, you have to experience what 5 watts per kilo feels like yourself to really understand. So taking a look at the selections being made, Ryan Rutherham has been pointed out as a rider to watch, a real up-and-coming talent from Canada. These guys canucked up, to say the least, yesterday. And Nathan, I believe we got some climbing ahead of us. This is a familiar bridge right here. Road tilts up a little bit pretty quickly, doesn't it? Yeah.
Forward Watopia Hilly. This is the sharpest climb on the day for sure because it's quick. We're looking at a minute 30 to minute 40. Right around that
well,
time.
You're flying.
Full gun. Yeah, they're going to be absolutely
moving.
flying here. And we're seeing 8 watts per kilogram on the front. We do see it's going to be Motram from Vitus Pro Cycling. They're in the red jersey. Starts the pros closet. So we do have the esports teams really starting to take over at the front. I would call Vitus at this point. They have committed so much. They have an in real life team, but they've committed so much to the world of virtual esports cycling here at this point that I believe you can name them that way as well with them and their presence. So them Pros Closet really starts the Pros Closet taking over in the orange jerseys on the front end. Mixed in amongst them, though, we do have Eastalis there, it looks like, with George Means Keeling as well. Right behind, it's going to also be Carr there from Team Skyline. Wildlife Generation staying involved. Of course, Cormac McGill, another rider who knows exactly who to follow. He's been out here so many times, but off the front, who did we say was going to be the threat here? And he is doing exactly that. 182 beats per minute. Crispin Ryglinski, along with Motram, Vitus Pro Cycling, making things very difficult very early on, trying to separate things out, and they are doing damage. The things are splitting behind them.
He had an extra serving of shepherd's pie. The man out of Northern Ireland looking exceptional. The Belfast Express. Again, Nathan, I think that Vitus is the men's racing equivalent of Tibco. super strong team in real life. They come into this a couple months ago, really embraced it, and now we're taking a look at, again, who's going to join McGlinchey. It's going to do damage, Nathan. Someone call the National Guard, because I'm going to guess we see 5 riders dropped out of the group. That was it. That was that KOM. I'm going to guess, Nathan, 75% of these guys just set their personal best on that KOM. What do you think?
62nd place currently is dropping off here. So now we're down to, it looks like, look at this.
Yeah,
Giron.
we're losing guys
Here's
left,
Giron.
right, and center.
Schellenberg is here as well. Ward. We see Jay Brown from Team Tour. These guys have to kick everything they have right now. Is this C. Hall now from Team California at 9 watts per kilogram? They have to close down. The front pack is slowing down to 44. They have a time. This is moment of truth for whether or not they are still involved in this race. This group has to work together full on to get back, or it is over.
Yeah, Nathan, this is brutal watching riders fighting. This is gut check time. That's the reality of bike racing. The battle, look at the Sarah's Pro Closet boys all hanging right in there. So this is the top team coming out of last night. We're seeing a significant moment. Every race has multiple moments when you're talking about 70 kilometers of racing, and that's what we're doing out here today. Nathan, I don't even want to get too excited myself right now, because you only have so much gas. And right now, Christopher McGlinchey is a flamethrower, a wattage flamethrower up on the front right now, as he is just blasting this race, scorching legs out there. Let's see who wants to ride with him. Toronto Hustle is going to be represented here. Let's see who else, Nathan. Lockwood is there on command. It looks like Thomas Rivard doing, excuse me, that's Thomas that I'm talking about for the exceptional British squad. 2000, Nathan. Okay, things settling down just a little bit, but I think McGlinchey put, what do you think, a dozen riders out the back door there, some fighting back in. Nathan, I love the way we keep an ability to look here. Oh, great job. Nice shot.
Yeah, just almost getting back on, but not quite yet. It has to happen right now for these 2 riders. Jay Sutton as well as Gardner here now from CS Velo. 1 second is the difference. That pack is about to speed up again. Red Truck Racing with Riddle here now backing up. 187. He was there. It was literally like 3 meters more he had to get back, and he couldn't do it at 188 beats per minute. It is a race of meters sometimes. A few, like a half a second is all he needed. Getting into Super Tuck, maybe they can work together, but look at how fast that pack just rolls away. They got to find some extra energy somewhere, though, because watch how this pack will just disappear into the distance at this point. It happens to all of us here. The local Saturday morning showdown, as well as in racing, the pack just slowly fades into the distance. Can they close it down? 3 riders, their race may be over.
This is where you're like, oh my God, if we don't get on that, we might go through the feed zone and there'll be no one there. It's scary, actually, when you're heading out into the Gila wilderness and you've got 1/2 of a warm water bottle with you. 2 guys, a little rugged, they're dying now to join the group. We're watching Sutton. He's going to get there. Come on now. Again, on that Vetus Pro Cycling team, this is that battle, Nathan, that inner battle, as you are scraping the bottom of the barrel, just wondering, there's got to be 5 more watts here, because that's all I need, and I can get up onto that group. These are the hardest 3 seconds in the world to close. Make it 5 seconds, but Nathan, come on, guys. I think that they can get there. They just, oh boy. One thing you'd be hearing from your director now would be like, just organize, you 3. Organize, keep just 15 seconds up the front, rotate through, and you can get there. It's amazing.
Look at how close it is again for Riddle. This poor guy, over and over again, he gets so close. It's 4 seconds, just 4. He can almost touch them at this point in this race, but at the front of the race, who is making it difficult? And they don't want nobody coming back, and it's actually Cyrus the Pros Closet in the orange and light blue. Just nonstop pushing the pedals. And I'm going to head to the front here. Venus and TPC, they can see that they have done damage, and they are not slowing down. They're pushing 5-6 watts per kilogram, keeping it steady at the front here. And look at the heart rates. They're able to sit in, find a draft, not waste energy, while these boys at the back are putting in their best TT of all time, trying to get back on turn.
Exceptional riding. Absolutely. Nathan, they always say that when you can show a rider the door, you do. When you can close it on them and put them out of the race, you do. When you can put a padlock on it, even better. That's what Vetus is doing out here right now. I mean, they're just eliminating riders left, right, and center. This is some classic teamwork being done. Unfortunately, Nathan, they eliminated one of their own teammates out here. That's the dangerous game that you play in this sport. But hey, that's the reality. We're in that OSS situation. Only the strong survive out here on Watopia. This is the world that started it all for Zwift. There's now multiple worlds, including replicas of a lot of the World Championship courses. Harrogate is my favorite, to tell you the truth, as we look at Mottram here of the Vitus Pro Cycling. This Saris boys, Nathan, haven't they done a tremendous job? They call it the TSS. That's basically just kind of a gauge that looks at how much work you've been doing. And I'm going to guess that the Saris Pro Closet riders who come in with, because we had a team time trial yesterday, they finished 8 riders on the same time. Timmy Bauer, Gavin Dempster, they're all virtually wearing our Tour of the Gila in its 34th edition, this time virtual, that red leaders jersey. So Timmy Bauer, Gavin Dempster, Holden Camo, he's a legend, Matt Brandt, Matt Kerbo, Matt Gardner, Ryan Larson, Chris Beck, and Chris Beck. These are the riders that are on that Saris Pros Closet team. And Nathan, I don't know if they're all there, but it looks like most of them. I'm counting 6 jerseys. 6 out of 8, not bad.
Not bad at all.
Maybe
and I
even
think,
more. Yeah.
Maybe even more. Yeah. So Saris Pros Closet have actually made most. I am seeing.
They make up about a sixth of this group right now. That one team.
Definitely, and the orange. And that'll be the orange and light blue at this point. Vitus then with, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 at least that have made it. I'm going to try and start looking through here. I'll see if I can get an image up for everybody.
Vitus
Really?
has everybody except one. Excuse me. So they've got Adam Kenway, Chris McGlinchey, a Northern Irish rider we were talking about. This is a British team, Northern Ireland, actually part of the United Kingdom. Joey Walker and Mikey Mottram, and we saw one of the Vitus riders. Didn't we? If I remember correctly, was trying to there. It's
it's going to be Sutton as well as Shesky, actually. So also from Vitus Pro Cycling are off the back in the chase group at this point. They
so
have
the
picked
reason
up a
I'm
few
saying
more
that,
riders.
Nathan, my interpretation that those are the 4 on Vitus that were in the finishing 4. So you're correct, absolutely. Those were the 4 that are Kenway, McGlinchey, Walker, and Mottram that got the team time trial squad time last night. The other 2 were in the race but finished a little bit later. So there we go. I'm educating myself. There's so many ins and outs with what we're doing here. It's a 3-stage race, replicating what happens every year down in New Mexico. And boy, it has been so much fun. I don't know how much fun this is. Adam Robert, super strong rider. Another Canadian. Nathan, half this peloton is Canadian, to tell you the truth, or the group we're looking at right here. But half these guys are Canadian. A lot of the Canadians were certainly, Canada is a huge country, but the population of Canada is less than California, however, but a lot of them live in a climate where Zwifting would be really popular. Adam Robert, in real life, big talent. On Zwift, big talent. These things don't change. So watch out for Elevate today. They had a disappointing ride yesterday, I would say. I expect a lot from this team. That's the only reason that I say that. I thought I'd see them in the top 3, to tell you the truth. So they are going to be looking to make something special happen out here. Adam Roberts, Jordan Shane, the young talent out of Texas, Lucas Bourgoin, and Mexican rider, Ulysses Castillo, super sprinter. So I'll throw it back to you, Nathan, as we take a look at our front group right here. You can go to zwiftpower.com yourself if you want to track the riders. But Nathan, pretty small group right now. It's going to get smaller. It's pretty rugged out there.
Pretty small group. I'm just going to bring in our course profile one more time here, just because we do get a lot of questions. I do see them all coming in. It is 70K total on the day. We are on the big foothills, and the next climb is the Cat 4. On the day here. So we are going to be looking at 3.8 kilometers total, it looks like. And let's go ahead and go big screen with this real quickly here. 3.8 kilometers here, 3.2% gradient is the next climb that they're going to be coming into as we get this little lull. They are in that little downtrend there for a moment, the flat section right before they hit the KOM as they go around the volcano. They're actually going inside of that climb right now is what they're doing inside of the volcano, and as they leave that, it'll be 3.2% on average, but it gets into an 8 all the way up, I think, into the teens actually at the later end of the climb. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. That's about the halfway point of the race for 70K actually. So over the top of there, we're going to see how things play out, as I believe we are down to about 50 riders with 145 starters. So pretty aggressive race up front. I was not expecting I thought that this would be the deciding moment for the entirety of the peloton, but obviously, it's like the question is, have they burned too many matches early on? As there's plenty of other jerseys still involved here that I think have been hiding in the wheels and making sure they're reserving energy. One cool thing about ZipPower.com is you can see what the powers that have been put out on the live tracker so far, which is a pretty cool thing. And one of the things I'm looking at here, Corey Williams, 4.5 watts per kilogram so far in the lead group. At the front of this, Corey Lockwood, 5.1. So his teammate Lockwood has done a huge amount of work so far, but Williams has been sitting in, and that makes a lot of sense actually from their talents, doesn't it,
Sure
Dave?
does. It really does, Nathan. Corey Lockwood, we talked about earlier from Bakersfield, the two-time time trial champion, he, along with Corey Williams, would know as well as anyone that the key to winning in the professional level of cycling, I mean, without a doubt, you make sure you help everyone else finish what they have on their plate before you start in on yours. And that is exactly what Corey Williams is doing right now. He's a tremendous sprinter out of Los Angeles. He's one of the owners, leaders, mentors. I mean, he's just a phenomenal citizen. I was talking, Nathan, before the show about how the Ceres and Pro Closet guys, these are the guys that you want as your neighbor. They're just really upright citizens, solid people. I don't know if there's a nicer human being than Timmy Bauer or Holden Camo on the planet. I get why Ceres, the Pros Closet, want to be involved with them. Legion of LA, it's a different kind of team. It's some hungry young wolves, really cool kids. They've got a vision. They're artistic. They're taking professional cycling to a whole new place. It's incredibly cool. I want to go along for that ride. What they're doing on Instagram, nation's #1 beast is Corey Williams. And I mean, that kid is a lifestyle, Nathan. He really is. And it's fun to watch. Cycling really needed more of that. So yes, I completely agree that they're riding a smart race.
What just happened
that looks
with
like
Davis? Like, I think just went
out.
nuclear.
Gluten
He just went
plants.
nuclear.
Right.
Just went like it was like he was there, and then 1.2 watts per
Meltdown
kilogram.
City.
It's done.
China
It's
syndrome.
I am done. That was enough of that, boys. Have fun, because that was over. And I mean, look, you can see why. Corey Williams on the back now, as you can see.
China
I think he's trying to just find the wheels at this point to use as little energy as he possibly can, because he's about the sprint and making it over this climb. That's going to be the goal for Corey Williams, because this is the most climbing on the day. As far as this is the highest peak that they will hit. But Vitas does not want that. Look at the red on the front of this peloton here.
Pushing,
We're moving
Nathan.
up. They are really pushing. They can see that there's a struggle at the back here at this point. And I think Vitas want this to break now. They are not messing around, and it is Miglinski again, right alongside, it looks like, Motrum. They've been the ones. George Mules, Keeling there. Stalis now trying to come through, it looks like. And Vitas, along with Keeling, are really turning the screws. They can feel the pressure. They can smell, again, tasting the blood in the water, and the sharks are coming to bite, that's for sure. And it looks like it's starting to happen at the back. They want the sprinters gone.
I never thought that we'd be talking about racing through a volcano, but this is going to be a sector that's memorable, and he has come unhinged. Can he fight back, Nathan? Talk us through it. What's it going to take? This is going to be the moment for Williams. Everyone knows he's the best, one of the best sprinters on the planet right now. Unfortunately, it looks like they were able to do what they wanted. Matt Stevens, the king of Texas, is fighting now. Nathan, these are some huge names. What a dramatic moment. I can't believe it. We're halfway into the race, and they are punching riders out the back.
Matt Gardner. Sorry, it's the pros card listed. Well, I mean, this has obviously been, look, 8 watts per kilogram, and you can see this kick here from Thomas trying to get back on turns, but the Landis track now over the top. It looks like 172 beats per minute, and that was the only flat section through. And that was where you had to grab a wheel and get some reprieve, because now it's 2 times around and a kick into 10-11% actually. And it looks like Swart now trying to take full advantage of the gap that's been formed. And I think he also can tell that the rest of the group is just trying to find a wheel.
Yeah, Nathan, the pitch was up at 5%. So he absolutely flies. He would love to see 7-8% right now. We see the pitch starting to go up. I want to give a shout out to Dara McQuaid. He's saying go Ireland out there. That's going to be Cormac McGeoch, the Irish flag that you see. Cormac, he's a very experienced esports racer. He went all in here on the Tour of the Gila for the wildlife generation team. So we're going to be taking a look at seeing, does Alex Hone make this good team? Nathan, if you were at the actual Tour of the Gila in real life, this team has won the event in years past. They have been without a doubt, I think Rio Grande team from Colorado, these are the teams that make up the heart and soul of the Tour of the Gila. It's a great event for up-and-coming amateurs to find out what it's going to take to do stage racing. We're finding that out right now. All right, there's going to be Walker with the mighty Vitas Pro Cycling team that he's fighting now. So Nathan, we see big names being shown the back door. This right now, I'm trying to figure out who's doing the damage on the front. It's going to continue to be Wouter Zwart, isn't it?
And now to the front here, but Mottram, one last final kick in just a moment here. You're going to see the final left-hand turn. We're going to get into the red gradient here, and Christian McGlinchey knows exactly how to set up. Going for the point at the top, it looks like here, 7.4 watts per kilogram. Team Tour there, though. Thomas trying to come through. We're seeing the orange numbers starting to pop. Is it too early? 7.6 watts per kilogram continues to ride away. Looks like with McGlinchey. So Kerbil is with him, though. Stars the pose closet hanging on. They're starting to break their own teammates here at this point. Holden Camus is their sprinter. He's on the back. They might not want to have a kick at this point. 88 beats per minute, though. That was some suffering. And guess who does not want to slow down? Yeah, okay, have the KOM. But he wants to split this still. Get rid of every TPC rider that they can. That is what Linsky is thinking. I do not want to go to the line with Holden Camus. Split this group right now.
Well, and they're doing exactly that, Nathan. I could not agree more. You might as well take advantage of any small window of opportunity that you have, and that's going to be what McGlinchey is doing again. McGlinchey is over in Northern Ireland racing. You see that Irish flag there for the wildlife generation rider. He's actually in Washington State right now. Who's that? To attack when the race is in the gutter, in this case when it's in the lava. And right now we're taking a look at Corey Lockwood here. This man is a monster. He can put the watts together. Who wants to go with him here? Or Nathan, is he just continuing to go over the top and do damage here? But it looks like finally we're starting to see some riders dropping into the Super Tuck. I think the guys who know how to use the game that is Zwift are probably breathing a sigh of relief. I think they might realize we got a couple K where we should be pretty safe, at least for a moment out here. Tell you what, this is one of these no quarter asked for, no quarter given kind of bike race. We're 37K into 70 kilometers of racing. This has been a Donnybrook since kilometer 1. And Nathan, it's still hotting up, but that group looks a little bit smaller to me than it was 5 minutes ago.
Here's the chase right here at this point. And this is going to be Paulie here with D. Kelly here trying to jump back on. It's going to be Gardner right behind him. So interesting to see Lockwood pressing the advantage at this point on the front, making sure nobody jumps back on and still trying to make them suffer. One rider that has made this, there's a U.S. National Champions kit in there still. Stars the Pros Closet still has their star sprinter at this point. He has made it up over the top, and they've dropped off a lot of their own teammates, but look at the orange and green that are still, or excuse me, orange and light blue that are still in there. Still see 4 jerseys. McGlinchey tried to make it happen, it looks like, but now there's only 2 Vitas riders. That team has suffered a little bit because of the efforts there, and the TPC Stars the Pros Club has still been able to come out on top as far as numbers go. Actually 5 riders. GC, he's been dropped off at this point.
Boy, yeah, I mean, Nathan, when you look at this, what a tactical slugfest this is, this Machiavellian chess match. People wondering, do the riders have comms? Do they communicate? Heck, yes, they do. We've talked a lot about that, actually. Nathan, you do such a good job of keeping us up to speed on how these riders races. Nathan races himself at this level, so it makes a big difference to be in sync. It looks like Vitas doing the same thing. Nathan, I see 3 Vitas jerseys. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think McGlinchey has a couple team, although one of them right now. And yeah, well, they're quickly able. That's what you just, when these gaps open up, you have to immediately shut it down. I use that analogy. You don't want to let a grass fire turn into a structure fire, because then it's too late. Well, that's pretty close to the truth with what happens when a small gap opens up out here. I think it's harder on Zwift than in real life, to tell you the truth, to close down those gaps. Once you let 3-4 seconds go out, this Wouter Zwart, write that name down in pen. This young man has been phenomenal. Landis Trek, Nathan, talking about that team about 10 minutes ago here. They were, without a doubt, one of the teams that we've really loved having at the Tour of the Gila. Jack Brennan and his friends are down there right now watching the race at the main bike shop. The first place when you go to Silver City, Nathan, I'm going to send you right into the bike shop, right? That's where you can get your bearings down there. It's right on the Criterium course. As we take a look at this group now, I think we're going to see status quo, this tiny group that remains. But Gila Hike and Bike is the place to be for sure. And right now, we want to give a shout out to everybody down there watching. Really appreciate the fact that times have been tough with COVID-19, but we'll see in 2019, that's for sure. Maybe we'll have a chance to sit down and have a burrito with Cormac McGee, the Irish rider here from the Wildlife Generation team, who's sitting comfortably in this group. Nathan, help me out the best we can. Might as well try to take some inventory while we have a moment here. We're 40K into 70 kilometers of racing, but as you show with the graphic, there's still most of well, we're probably about halfway done with the vertical gain, the climbing that they're going to see out here. So we have a long way to go. This group won't be we're saying there's about 35 riders, maybe 40 riders here in the vanguard of stage 2 of the Tour of the Gila.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's a great time to take a little bit of inventory. And here's what's happened so far on the day. 70 kilometers is what's going to be they're going to be looking at. So they got another 30 to go. So far, they have completed the Titans Grove forward KOM, as well as the Watopia Hilly forward KOM. They just got done with the Volcano KOM, which is the longest climb on the day. Let's take a quick look at the leaderboard actually for that, see what kind of time they did over the top of that climb. There was an amazing result on that climb. But looking at it here, this is going to be it right here. 550. So anything sub 6 is insanity. So I mean that is quite the time up over the top there. Gavin Dempster actually getting dropped off, it looked like. Interesting to see. We actually have a little bit of attack going back into the volcano. Interesting to see. Vita's here now. Mottram, they just continue on. And the next climb they're going to be looking forward to, though, is going to be Titans Grove Reverse. So they've got there's quite a lull here, actually, as you were saying. Let's just take a quick look. You can see in the lower left-hand corner.
One? Yeah, Nathan, this is a pretty infamous climb out there. Talk us through that the KOM section there, that red sector that you see highlighted. You've been on
the
this
next one coming
times.
up. On the next one coming up, yeah. So on this next one coming up, it's the steepest, shortest climb though. So 0.9 kilometers, right?
Isn't this where you win bike races?
6.6% average gradient. It's actually a sharper climb than the forward Watopia Hilly. So my mistake earlier saying that was the sharpest climb. At 6.6% gradient, 0.9, that is most likely going to be the place where we can really get a real split. And that's the next climb coming up. But you can see there's a pretty good lull in between now and then. They got to head all the way back over toward Fuego Flats and then take a right-hand turn onto Titans Grove. And it looks like the watts per kilogram, he's going to need a little bit more than that, though, to bring that back. They're going to bring it back, but he's actually going to bring the whole pack with him. So it looks like just maybe trying to keep things together rather than going across to a break. But Elevate, still on the front. This is a serious move, it looks like here. Jordan, it looks like really motivated
Jordan
here.
Shane. Yeah, out of Vancouver, Washington, a really talented rider. I believe he won White Rock up in that. They have some great racing in BC Super Week. Looking forward to, that's Gastown Grand Prix up in Vancouver. Jordan Shane is a young, talented rider on the Elevate Weberflex team. Who does he have with him now, Nathan? Again, not a huge gap, but it just shows me that Elevate is really looking to make something happen out here today. And again, this Subaru Santa Monica team, I've now fully noted that squad punches above their weight. Really impressed. We're going to learn more about them. Look at Sarah's Pros Closet in the orange and blue jersey. That kit is going to be very important when you talk about the plot line, the storyline that's going to be playing out here over the next 25K. That's the team that is your de facto race leader. All of those jerseys might as well be red, Nathan, because each one of those guys is on that leader's time. But a lot of things are going to be changing. The shakeout's going to be dramatic when this one is done and dusted here, as they're now hightailing their way back from being out. They would have been out in the Gila wilderness. They would have seen, there's some caves out there and cave drawings, Nathan, from some of the, going back 1,500 years ago. If you think about how incredible it is that the Anastasi and the different tribes that lived out in the Gila forest. It's really amazing the history that you learn about Holden Camo. Nathan, how important is it that he's still there? I mean, he's a very hard rider to beat. At times, he's the #1 ranked rider in the world, but he's certainly one of the most popular, respected, and recognized Swifters. How dangerous is that man?
When it comes to sprinting, I think he can push somewhere between a 14 and 1,500 watt sprint on an indoor trainer.
Louise.
And this is all he works on. It's what he focuses on. The guy is a monster in the sprint. He's got plenty of pretty cool live videos as well as little snippets of him sprinting. There's a reason why they're sponsored by Cyrus out there, and they put those trainers through the ringer. And this guy definitely has a very fast spin turnover, and I think amongst this group he is going to be the most dangerous man. Miglinski can tactically, I think if you can plan it right, and you got to, and if it does come down to a sprint between these boys, it's going to come down to a tenth of a second at the most, I think, between a few of these riders here. But Holden has the timing so well, specifically on this lead-in. It's going to come through the Fuego Flats. You're going under that little rock arch, same place that we saw the finish yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see how the timing goes, because it's kind of a drag race, depending on how they play it. There's a lot of climbing still to go, a lot of sting in the legs, though. And will a sprinter like Holden have something left? Or will we see a break?
They say when a sprinter is climbing well, he's sprinting well, Nathan. And Holden right there, right with McGlinchey, if you see them now starting to get some positioning in this group. A little bit of a lull right now. I mean, this would be absolutely where you'd be grabbing your bottle and taking a good pull, because it's going to get brutal here in a moment. It's not long until a make or break sector is going to be coming up. Again, we're watching Holden Camo right now, the Sarah's Pros Closet team. He's a virtual race leader. He could very well win the stage. And Nathan, for them, really worth remembering that, McGlinchey has got to be your #1 danger man now with Williams. Corey Williams, I'm talking about, the California state champion, is not in this group any longer. They got rid of quite a few talented riders in that last surge. The pressure was immense. So right now, these are the gladiators of the road, without any question, that we're looking at in this group. Nathan, we continue to kind of look around. Adam Carr is there. Good job by the Skyline rider. The Twig is there. The Eddie Merckx of virtual racing. The self-proclaimed Eddie Merckx of virtual racing.
We are heading into the climb here in just a moment. So as we do head back on over toward the Fuego Flats, this is the entrance to Fuego Flats. Now we just left the main Watopia circuit area. We went by the piers of Watopia, and this is where the whole race started, actually, from the starting pens over in the expansion that recently came out with Titans Grove and the Flats. Now they are going to be taking a right-hand turn, though, to do the reverse of that Titans Grove that we came into from the other side. So as you can see in the distance here on the right-hand side, there's the climbs with the sequoias that they're going to be taking on here in just a moment. There's actually going to be heading on up toward the mountain bike course in just a moment here. And if they were riding solo, they'd be able to take a right-hand turn and jump on a mountain bike for a quick little 3 mile or 6.5K or so 7K ride on a mountain bike if they wanted to. But no mountain biking today. They're going to be focusing on that KOM.
It's so cool. You actually can steer your bike using the gyrometer or whatever they call it in your phone. It's just some of the new the Skunk Works projects that Zwift has going that are so cool. So Nathan, as you take a look at this group, if I had told you that they were going to do pretty close to 49 kilometers in the first hour with the amount of climbing that we have, wouldn't you have said that's a little ambitious, Dave? Because these guys are absolutely flying. I mean, Nathan, 58 minutes in, they've almost done 47K.
Yeah, they're messing with our run of show. What? Slow down,
they
boys
sure
and girls.
Well, no, they just got us a lunch break. These guys are racing my lunch break back. I'm actually now going to order a Rio Grande burrito because I'm going to have time. Because, Nathan, we were anticipating maybe 10 minutes.
10-minute break. We were looking at a 10-minute break between the men and the women. These boys are going to give us a solid 20 minutes or so, it looks like here. So great job to these riders. They have put on a huge show so far. They've made things extremely exciting, actually. And it's the riders who make the race, that's for sure. Now on the front, though, Legion, it looks like taking over. Now we're starting into the climb. This is not the climb proper as far as the KOM goes, but there's little bumps here as they head on through each one of these hot springs. On the front again, Maglinski just continues with Wiltram. They have got a plan. There's been some communication for sure. Holden, is he heading to the front to attack? This is not his type of thing to happen here. Maybe
or
a
is he
sag climb,
climbing, Nathan?
Yeah, sag climbing. Good point, Dave. Good point.
That's my guess. Yep. But very well done. That is, you're getting a clinic on how to do it because you get up near the front at the start of the climb. That way you can hold it. You can see he's sliding back through the group, but he's still in contact. He's not unhitched, and hopefully he's going to make it up and over the top with these guys. The race is on right now. No doubt about it, Nathan. We're watching Holden Camo. He comes in as a big favorite to not only win the stage, but hold on and become our individual race leader. So, Nathan, this is going to be good here. I know that this course wasn't designed. I mean, this is exactly what it looks like when you're making the run-in back to Silver City. These beautiful trees. Well done. Looks like we got Pedersen of the Subaru Santa Monica team continuing to impress out here. I love that saying, Nathan, punching above your weight. It's a huge compliment, right? It talks about someone that steps into the ring. When you talk about the gladiators of the road, these riders put themselves through a tremendous amount to be here, to be competitive at this level. I mean, Nathan, for folks wondering, these are the kind of guys that are doing 20 hours a week on the bike. Wouter Zwart is back at it.
Off the front.
There's a big stick. Yeah, good job, Wouter.
Continues to push on here. Amazing here. And we do see Elevate trying to close things down. Tyler Williams also from Legion there. Starting to get some splits a little bit here and there. But the pack, you can see how the pack is still bunched there. Watch the pack. If it does not get into a straight line, it's most likely coming back here. Wouter gave an attempt. It's going to be risky, though. That was a risky move because what's about to happen is we're about to hit the most difficult section, actually. 8% now gradient, as you can see here. Wouter toward the back now, but it's going to suffer here a little bit. That may have been in not being familiar with this course. Gavin Dempster's actually still here. My mistake. I am seeing him. One of the wheels he's jumping on here.
He's going to come back.
It does look like Wouter's going to make it happen here.
But Nathan, look at what's happening at the front. It looks like we might be seeing a raid here from Sarah's Pros Closet. Oh, well, I see not quite all over the front though, so I'm going to take that back. They're not forcing the issue here. As everybody trying to figure out what is going on. We're just about to get to 50K. So Nathan, this is now a 20-kilometer race to the finish line for this race. And again, we've got two main events today. The women are just now warming up back in the pen. We've got another entire 70K of racing for them out here as well. So a great day of racing out here on Watopia. This is it though, business end. It's go time for the men.
Yeah, and you do see calming down a moment here. Keeling, it looks like 183 beats per minute right now. Obviously, this climb has not been easy so far. We haven't even hit the official KOM section yet either. So it does look like Greg there from Project Echelon. Now making the way to the front. it looks like, trying to set up well on the back. Holden Camus. We said earlier that he was going to sag climb. It looks like he's got the wheels there holding on. If they can keep him in there, Cyrus the Pros Cloud is set up so incredibly well with a solid sprint. They've actually got so many bodies in here. The percentages on winning. A. Fraser Moran, though, he is a strong rider, winning in the Redlands Classic, actually, that we did just a couple weeks back. So we'll have to see if perhaps he can repeat. If there's a rider, actually, that I would be watching out for, a wild card to my eyes, card to my eyes, only because of not being as familiar with in real life. But he showed up.
Right?
Beat Corey Williams, beat SARS. I mean, he beat these teams that we would have expected something else from here. So interesting to see. And he was kind of a wild card, but it's showing his worth for sure. Got to make it over the climb, though, here.
Nathan, you're 100% right, though. That's your sleeper in this group. I mean, credit where credit is due. He has proven after a little bit longer out here than what we've raced in the past, but these are the guys that are purpose-built for these type of 2-hour. Well, I mean, these guys race for 5-6 hours. That's in their wheelhouse for sure. This is moving more into that the range that I think it's like one of those catch weight boxing matches, right? Where if you have a guy that's light and a guy that's heavy, you try to find a middle ground. This is a catch weight esports event because a lot of the regular in real life racers, they're much more adapted to 3-4 hour road races. Esports guys, Nathan, as we've noted, 45 minutes to an hour. Well, here we're going to be somewhere right in between that, a little bit less than we thought. I mean, this isn't going to be that much more than an hour and a half of racing until we're done. And look at that, Swar off the front. Again, this man is hitting hard, body blow after body blow. Nathan, there's something to this. He's doing something
insane.
here. Yeah,
Absolutely
Wouters
flying.
must be setting up a teammate. He has to be doing something. I mean, he is really impressing. And I'm wondering who's going to come up over the top. It's going to be Christopher McGlinchey, the man from Northern Ireland, is making it go. Nathan, heads up. This should have the alarm bells ringing.
McGill fading, though. Can he hold on? It's a neck and neck here between McGill and McGlinchey. Will they hold on? Ireland is just hammering on the front here. It looks like Matthew Capone now trying to come on through. It's going to be Swart there as well as Greg. That's lined up, though. Look at how it's stretching out. Really trying to break things apart. They got the KOM done, though it looks like. Let's take a look real quickly here at this. Over the top, will they be 123.4, tenth of a second over the top of Christian Muglinski. Cyrus the Pros Club coming through in third there. Jordan Sheen fourth. Looks like Walter Zork for fifth. Z. Greg there for Project Echelon. Larson Mills. Tyler Williams, followed up by Tor 2000, it looks like, and that is going to be, I'll have to take a look through the riders here quickly as it didn't populate best for us there, but solid result there for the top 9 that we were able to get through. As now things are backing off. Did anybody fall off is going to be the question, though, on that climb. Does look like a car here, Team Skyline, just getting back on, just barely, it looks like, as I look at the back of the pack here. Getting into that super tuck, that was a risky one there for Carr.
Yeah, Adam Carr is a great story. We talked about the type 1 diabetic and how hard he works. And now we're going to be looking, so he does get back on. I think, Nathan, to answer your question, it looks like most, if not, probably not everybody, but I think most of the riders were able to survive that intense little foray up the climb. There's Adam Carr of Team Skyline moving up. Corey Lockwood up on the front. He's done a lot of work here. I wonder what card they're going to play for the finale. Expect some shenanigans coming from, well, of the racing type is they're going to be looking here for, I would have to think, something on this team. They've got some weapons that they can deploy a little bit later, Nathan. One of the big differences between Zwift and in real life is you never get that 5 minutes of descending like you would in Gila National Forest. These guys continue to, I mean, look at the numbers. They're in the 2s right now, but they're still making watts. Just not as many right now. This might be the easiest sector that these guys have out here, Nathan, for this next minute or so.
Yeah, and they're going to be taking a little bit of time here that they're going to have on their hands. They've got plenty of time to work with. Really, this is a battle between these riders. Look at Usborn here, 3:38 back to the main chase pack.
Yeah, we've set the table now.
But this is it as far as the riders go. They're not coming back at this point. That time is way too far out. So at this point, it's really who is at the, as you were saying, at the table at this point. who's looking across at you, and what are they going to do about it. The next climb that they do have is going to be the Hilly Watopia Reverse. You're looking at about a 3:30 or so on the day for that climb. So real quickly here, let's just take a quick look. There's going to be a lull again, as you can see here. 2.5 kilometers, 1.8% gradient is going to be the next climb on average. And that essentially, full on, 3 minutes and 50 seconds most likely at about 6 watts per kilogram. The attacks, though, we'll see how that can happen. That is a climb that's long enough as well to really break things apart. And it's not long after that as you have... So they're gonna be heading over to Ocean Boulevard now, left-hand turn, and then on over toward the leaving Ocean Boulevard, then heading on over toward the reverse climb. After that, it will be a right-hand turn and immediate left again through the section we just took to get over to Titans Grove, and then it's a flat from there on out. And so to the finish line, looking at about 3K, I want to say, maybe 4K to the finish line from over the top. So it'll be interesting to see how that. No, it's not. It's doable. It's doable if you get a gap with a couple riders.
Yeah, typically when you go over 6, 7K, that's where a group can chase back almost anyone, right? But that distance, it makes it even more tempting for the guys that really specialize in these short, hard climbs to go for it. It's going to set up for an outstanding finale here. Is remaining in this front group. The Toronto Hustle represented here by Ryan Rutherham. He was definitely tipped as a rider to watch, and he's living up to it out here, Nathan. We're having a few breakthrough performances, some of the old stalwarts as well. I mean, obviously, Holden Camo is a rider that a lot of people are going to have their eye on that Sarah's Pro Closet team. I think maybe Christopher McGlinchey, correct me if I'm wrong, biggest danger out here right now, the Northern Irish rider on Vetus. He'd be the guy, Nathan, if I was in a director's seat, that I would be the most worried about if he wasn't on my team.
Yeah, to go over the top. He'd be the guy to say, over the top, everything, all in. Maybe
on.
Mottram, though. Maybe Mottram as well.
Yep.
One of those two. Those are the two cards that they could play. One of those two riders, make sure you make it as hard as you possibly can over the top of this climb.
I'd throw Corey Lockwood's name.
Mainly just from the Vetus. I mean, just from the Vetus, from a Vetus perspective.
Sure.
From a Vetus perspective, because they have two riders in there that both have that kind of a VO2 kick. You send either Mottram, whoever's feeling better for a sprint, you leave him in the pack. The other one, bury yourself, don't care. TPC have too many riders here, and we need to either get rid of them or you win the race. One of those two things needs to happen,
I agree.
right?
You would need to channel your inner Ben King, what he did at the U.S. Pro Road Championships, attacking from 40K out, turn your brain off, and let the chips fall where they may. It is some of the most exciting racing to watch, without any doubt. I mean, that's what the people never forget when they go home, the day that guy took on the world. We'll see if anybody's going to be able to take the bull by the horns out here, because it's a big ask. A lot of talent in this group still. As we watch, we talk taking inventory here. Well, all of these riders are going to be well aware of the strengths and weaknesses. I do see Corey Lockwood. I was talking about him, Nathan, as a guy I'd be particularly interested in. He should be getting short odds here, as this, of course, that suits him quite well, and the duration of the racing better for Corey Lockwood as well, remembering that he's coming from that in real life world of 1 hour 10 minutes. We're just getting warmed up for some of these guys.
Great
Matt
question
Brandt is still there.
Go
ahead, Nathan.
Yeah, saying, who else do you think there might be a split between the top of the tunnel and the false flat into the reverse KOM? Thoughts? So, yeah, that's actually a great spot that you could make something happen. Early on, usually you see this section. So he's speaking, what Christopher Rhea is speaking to there is out of Ocean Boulevard. There is a little 3% gradient, and it goes into a section, of course, that has little dust like this, which actually slows the bikes down just a little bit, and it causes some mayhem. And so there may be an opportunity there as well, but it's a very difficult section to get away in. But because of how tired the riders likely are at this point, and how many riders are missing at this point as well, it's not a large group, something may be able to happen there. You have to be a real power horse, though. I mean, you're going to have to be a full-on ruler type of a rider that gives a go right there.
That's a special rider.
But it is possible.
Yeah.
It is. One other thing, too.
That's not only... I was going to say, Nathan, who's also really, really motivated, almost a higher calling type of ride. You know what I'm saying? Because this group is so strong. I mean, you look at these names now that we're rotating through here on the front. Larson, big talent. We've talked about Lockwood, but his teammate Williams, really, really a rider to watch. Everybody's going to be focusing on McGlinchey and Holden Camo. Nathan, Holden is on this Sarah's Pros Closet team. For everybody who's just joining us, again, welcome. We love the fact the numbers last night were astronomically high, and it looks like the same thing happening today. So thanks for jumping in. We're down to it here for the men. We still have the entire women's race to start, as the Tour of the Gila has always been one of the really cool things about Jack Brennan is how he's respected and honored the women's peloton. So Nathan, as we come up on 11K to go pretty quickly here, this is the group of your winner without any question. Who's going to find an exceptional moment here? Because that's what it's going to take. In order to win, you have to risk losing. It's going to be a big risk out here. Nathan, I think it's exactly what you were talking about, attacking with old school fury on that final climb. And then, as they say, scraping the bottom of the barrel for every last watt. That's what makes this sport so beautiful. You don't win unless you're willing to take risks. There's a man who absolutely fits that mold. Cormac McGee of the Wildlife Generation team. He's been strong out here. Dempster, another one of the Sarah's Pros Closet, Nathan. They still got at least 3, maybe 4 in this group.
Yeah, let's real quickly, let's just give a shout out. We do head in that 3% gradient here. This may be a section. We'll see if anybody gives a kick, but I think most of them are going to be looking forward to the reverse climb that's about to be hit here in just a second. Morchman goes to the front, but as he does, for those that have made this group, 29 riders in total. We're looking at Austin, let's just go real quick here. Ben Thomas, Gavin Dempster, Holden Camus there for Cyrus the Pros Club, Matt Wickstrom there for Subaru Santa Monica, Mikey Mochum there for Vitas Pro Cycling, Ali Moores there for East Salas, Adam Carr from Skyline, Alex Fraser-Moran from Red Truck, Bruce Bird is in here as well, it looks like, for Hamilton United. Obviously, Christopher Glinski there from Vitas Pro Cycling, Cormac McGee, Wildlife Generation, Drake Jewell, George Muth-Keeley, and Jack Bird. It looks like Jason Peterson is in there as well for Subaru Santa Monica, Gateway Devo, Jim Schnitzer for KBSC. Jordan Shane, we were talking about, Elevate is in there. Matt Brett, Stars the Pros Closet. Matt Kerbrew, there from Stars the Pros Closet as well. It looks like Team Tour Oscar Hutchings has made this. Twig there also from Stalis. Tucker Wetmore from Support Clean. Tyler Williams, as well as Walter Zort. So solid. Corey Lockwood still in here. Ryan Larson is still here. Zach Gregg, Ryan Rutherham. So a ton of very strong riders still in here. And looking through those riders, out of all those riders, Bruce Bird, 4.2 watts per kilogram, has been saving it for Hamilton United at this point, as far as the sprinters go. We're also looking at Holden Camus, 4.2 watts per kilogram. Now think about this, compared to Corey Lockwood, who has put out almost a full watt per kilogram more, doing a ton of work for the Legion team, it looks like, as well. Ryan Larson has put out 4.8 watts per kilogram, almost a half a watt per kilogram more than his sprinter on the day. You can kind of take a look over at Swift Power. A rider we were talking about earlier, Adam's Carr. We thought he was in trouble. I think Skyline had been reserving Adam Carr for a sprint, also sitting at 4.2 watts per kilogram. So the riders that have done the brunt of the work on the day, we're looking at Mikey Mochum from Vitas Pro Cycling, Chris McGlinchey, 4.4 watts per kilogram. Actually, not Mikey Mochum's been their workhorse, actually, as McGlinchey's been saving up a little bit more compared to what Mochum's been putting out here. So a lot of cool stats that Zwift can bring to the world of racing here, and see who's been doing the work and who's been saving it for that sprint and what the tactics might be. Well, did we miss this? I completely missed this. I apologize, as I was totally distracted. Yeah. I was totally distracted with my stats here, and McGlinchey did exactly what Chris did, exactly what Christopher Ray said. What an amazing call out for Christopher. Are you the DS for Vitas Pro Cycling? Because that was exactly the call, and McGlinchey is gone, and this is the ruler.
Oh my goodness, this is it. I don't know if they've got nuclear power in Northern Ireland. I'm going to have to assume so, because this man is absolutely pushing the limit. So 7 watts per kilo. The advantage is 16 seconds. He's been in the bank. He's got all the money. And now, Nathan, this is going to be an interesting 8.5 kilometers to the finish line. I would never bet against Christopher McGlinchey. He's had some big esports wins. He's all heart, pound for pound, ounce for ounce. This man is a classic Irish athlete. Never, ever you count these guys out. Ireland, a country of about 4.5 million people. But my goodness, on the international stage, when you become a star out of Ireland, you become a star for the world. There's nothing like the world's response to Irish athletes.
Look at this.
Christopher McGlinchey
Dave,
is pouring
this
it
is so
on.
great. Check this out just behind here. Look what Motrum's doing, and look at what Cyrus the Pros Closet is doing here behind. 1 second here. This view here, TPC, they are saying no, this is not happening, and they are trying to. They've put 4 on the front. They're just organizing a chase, and Motrum is sitting on the wheel. Legion as well, sitting on the wheel here, trying to. This is so interesting. They got him in sight here. Dempster on the front, 6 watts per kilogram. They're burning matches, and Holden is sitting in. Huge play.
Yeah, no, this is tactics at the highest level. I mean, putting on a clinic right now. Again, they are the second place team. So virtually, it's almost deadlock. Now the numbers are coming down. You're going to see McGlinchey here. This might not go to the line, but it's certainly putting the pressure. I mean, the foot is on the throat right now. If you think about what the Ceres Pros Closet team is up against, the alarm bells are ringing. They're well aware of how talented this man is. As you look at the odometer, he's going to start tapping on the gauge here, seeing that needle is going to be hovering around empty pretty soon. Look at that shot. Great job there, Nathan. As we take a look at the chase, they're bringing it back. Hit the reset button, but Christopher McGlinchey has just fired the first salvo. Opening shots here out of this group. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Welcome to downtown Pain City. It's not Silver City anymore. We got a whole new bike race here, and Zwart is back to the front. Does anybody counter, Nathan? Does anybody counter over the top of this?
I think Motrum. I think Vetus need to go 1-2, 1-2. Just keep it going. Body blow, as you would say, Dave. They've got to go to the corner and non-stop. I think if they want to win out here today, but I don't know if Motrum has it here. You're right. I think so. Zwart over the top. Bird, we said Bird was sitting in at 4.2 watts per kilogram. Now we're going to start seeing who's been resting up. We're going to start seeing who has been reserving and waiting for these moments at this point. Jordan Shane now goes to the front. Elevate now. Starting to take over now. Now it's going, no, it's going to be Cyrus the Pros Closet. Elevate. Yes, Jordan Shane taking over again over the top of that spike. One rider does fall off the back. Who is it? It looks like it's going to be Team Tour 2000. That's going to be Hutchings off the back. Larson just hanging on. Holden, look at him. Look at where he's placed here. Holden Commute, 175 beats per minute. Is Lockwood going? Lockwood is going off the front. We'll get that in 1 second here, as it's going to be Lockwood, and Williams is right there trying to go with him. It looked like it's going to be Legion 1-2.
Oh,
now they come over the top.
Right on the Monsters, the Legion of LA team again. Tyler Williams has World Tour chops. These two going to go up and over the top. Now, can they pull it off? Obviously, that's going to get a lot of attention. They don't want to give these guys any leash, but Legion of LA, as we bring it down to about 6K to go. And always, Nathan, very aware of your skill and talent and the fact that you've been out here on this course. We know that the finish line will come up very, very quickly. We're with Tyler Williams right now in the Legion team. They got one more rider joining them here. That's going to be Walter Zwart.
Watching in the lower left-hand corner. Lower left-hand corner is Holden Commute. Just so everybody knows, that is Holden Commute. Lower left-hand corner at the back. Okay. Okay, and then at the front right now, we have Tyler Williams, Walter Zwart, and the others on the front. That's the damage at the back here. More their stylist trying to hang on. Commute does get back up out a little bit. 0% grade. There's one more kick. That's when we're going to see whether or not these heart rates are too high from the back of this pack.
This is where the regulators need to mount up, as they say, because you want to chase this back, but you don't want to drop your best chance to win. This Ceres Pros Closet team is putting on a virtual clinic right now, Nathan, because they've got this back in hand. They were able to advantage. A very challenging situation right there. We're going to be coming up quickly on 5K to go. 5K to go here. Sarah's Pro Closet weathers another storm there. That's the team in the orange and blue. They're coming in as
just a little bit. And speaking of regulars, am I supposed to call you like Warren G then at this point, Nate Dogg? For those
Mount up,
who gets
right?
those?
Yeah.
Who gets that from the 2000s? I love it. Nice there, Dave. But now we do have Wiglinski off, trying to go off the front again, attacking again. Walter Zwart just barely hanging on, actually, at the back of this pack here. Will Walter be in trouble? I think he'll get back on terms. Bird to the front, 4-4, Watson Kirkham. Legion now rotating through, though, all back together. I think this is going to come down to a sprint finish. They were unable to Now, there could be one or two goes, you know, with the cream of the crop.
I cannot believe how hard these guys have raced. These guys are racing like they're late for dinner, Nathan. No question. As one man gets to lick his plate clean when we make our way back down to the virtual Fort Bear, but we're kind of replicating stage 2 of the Tour of the Gila. They are motoring now. Look how quickly that odometer is rolling back down. It's going to be, we're saying, right around 70 total kilometers. So Nathan, this is it right here, right now. I'm surprised, to tell you the truth, that this group is as large as it is, but as they say, the horse can smell the barn now. This Holden Camo is still there. They were not able to drop him. Actually, I'm just making sure that that's true, Nathan. I thought I saw his jersey, but
he's there. Yes, he's definitely there. I got him in. I got him in on the other feed. He's most definitely here, and he's sitting pretty 10th wheel, exactly
so
where
that
he wants to be.
changes everything. They weren't able to drop him. He's one of the big favorites to sprint and win. Let's start taking a look at who else. So, Nathan, the other name that certainly is interesting when you talk about it is the Canadian Moreau, right?
Yep.
Both he and his brother very strong. We know that he beat Corey Williams in a sprint. That's the Trek Red Truck team that I'm talking about. Another squad that certainly punched above their weight out here. And another team.
Fraser's there. Yep, Fraser. Moreau, he's there. Red Truck, 4-4. Also
Alex
sitting. You know what's going to happen? They're going to start marking each other now, Dave. They're going to start marking who's the sprinter to follow, and they're going to see. And you know who they're going to be watching as well? What is TPC doing? They've got the numbers. And it's going to be, this gets so tactical now at this point. Who's going to do what, where, when, and how? And now Legion goes to the front. They're like, no, we're not slowing this down. Keep it difficult. This is a very early attack. Lockwood says, I'm trying to team beat Thomas now coming across. Corey Lockwood just went.
Corey, I think Tyler Williams might be the man that they've got the plans for here. But Lockwood has been any chance of breakaway out of this group, or we're going to see this entire field sprint.
Okay. I think that was like they were like communicating, like, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that. You know, they're all chatting at this point. Who's going to win the race? The pressure is on. I love it how this virtual world, you start getting these same jitters, the same, like, they're, you know what these guys are doing at this point? The second it slows down, they're shaking the legs out a little bit, hitting the quads, making sure that they're ready to pound.
One last drink.
Yep, exactly. Yep. It's so great to see. Lockwood, it looks like, goes to the front again. I think you might have been right. Is there still enough Legion in here? Yeah, Tyler Williams is still in here as well. So Lockwood's probably, they're right next to each other as well. So interesting to see how they're going to try and set this up. Leadouts do matter, Dave.
Yeah, virtually, this is where the riders will be throwing off the water bottles, right? Everybody's going to be locking it down. Our sprint is going to be coming. There's going to be the attacks that go. It looks like, is that going to be smart one more time? This kid has been unbelievable. Just body blow after body blow being thrown by Wouter Zwart. He's going to be dangerous, Nathan. A little more than 1K out. This is is your suicide attack. But okay, you got to tip your cap to the ride that we've seen from Zwart.
I've seen it won like this. I have seen it won like this. If they sleep, I've actually been beat exactly like this on this exact stretch of course. TPC is not going to let it happen though. Sorry for the close call. There's too many. There's too many names.
Yeah, so much horsepower. Right now, they're champing at the bit. Look at the orange and blue up on the front. This is going to be for Holden Camo. He comes in as certainly a guy that's in your top three. Does he find the top step of the podium? Who's going to find a little bit more? Who wants it more? Because that's what it's going to come down to. I still keep looking at Alex. When Fraser Marone, I mean, this Canadian rider has, Nathan, I have to say, based on previous experience, it's either going to be here or McGlinchey that you would expect to see on the top step. And this one is going to be absolutely wild. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thunderdome. It's absolute pandemonium as they open the throttle up. Nathan, I'm going to throw it to you. It's finale time.
Yeah, and here we go. Corey Lockwood now starting to load things up here. We're about 1K to the finish line at this point now. Barty here now. T. Williams setting up. T. Williams right on Lockwood's wheel. It looks like they're setting up perfectly for a lead out. Now moving backwards, though. They do not want to get overwhelmed here. We're going to start to get the swarm of the pack swarming to the front if they do not stay in that top 5 or so. And that's really what it's all about, finding the wheels as they're going to take a left and then a right-hand turn. And then you see the little marker out there. That's 800 meters to go to the line. It's all about to open up here. Back in 27th place, Corey Lockwood, a little bit out of position perhaps. We'll have to wait and see if they're going to get up toward the front. Now TPC, they're going to start taking over. You can see the orange jerseys toward the front. Gavin Dempster is going to be the lead out man, it looks like, for the TPC boys. Lockwood now back to the front. No, Williams grabbing the wheel. They're not even opening up. They're waiting so long. Everybody is so tired. This left-hand bend is usually already full go.
It's like sprinting through wet cement for these guys, Nathan. Not a normal sprint at all. They are deep, deep in the pain cave. But look at the organization now from Sarah's Pro Closet on the front, Nathan. But it's going to be Legion of LA bringing it home. Who's going to get this one, Nathan? Back to you. They're galloping.
It looks like it's going to be Venus Pro Cycling. Venus right through line. Holden does not grab it. Venus. It looks like Venus was able to do it. McGlinchey, I believe, timed it. Holden tried to make it happen, but it was just not there. The timing. It was all about the timing there. Wow. Let's just take another look here real quick. I'm going to go back to the replay in just a second. But what a kick at the line there for McGlinchey after all of that work. And we saw him earlier, too. Oh, wait. Oh my goodness! Let's go back to the replay because I think
back-end API. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah,
back-end API does not lie. Just so you guys know, the back-end API it does not lie. Everybody, let's go. I'm gonna bring me and Dave in here real quickly because we're gonna have to wait a moment here. We'll have a discussion about this, and I'm looking at some of the results as they come through here. I'm gonna grab the replay. We'll take a look at the replay, and then we're gonna take a look at what the results are showing us for the back-end API and how this all opened up here. So,
awesome. What a finish. Either way.
That was amazing.
I'm thinking McGlinchey, but we've learned that sometimes what you think you're seeing is not going to be the actual result. So that's where we have to take a deep breath and allow the experts to do what they do. We talk about, do you want the results now or do you want them correct? So we'll get them correct.
This is it. This is it starting to open up here. We're looking at Wouter Zwart. This is from the back of the pack, okay? And Zwart here, obviously after that early attack, fading. So this was that's from Zwart's perspective. So this is where it came on through, and he ended up coming through, it looks like, back in about 10th or 11th place. Let's go ahead and take another look at the other replay that we do have. And this is going to be the right. Let's go ahead and jump right on over here. And this is going to be Kerbew here now coming on through, leading things out from 4th place. And then here comes McGlinchey and Holden. Absolutely flying on through here. McGlinchey, Holden. That's going to be who we're watching. Tyler Williams actually led things out. McGlinchey right there to the line. Holden Commute timing it. And right at the line there might have nipped it. Now, there's the line. There's McGlinchey. It looks like it was a wheel. But the back-end API says that actually Holden came through from what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay. Now, just so everybody, just going to give everybody a heads up as well on the reason that is. That's what I'm seeing. We are getting another sprint coming on in here. Let's go ahead and just watch this as things do finish out actually here, as this is going to be the second group. Definitely want to highlight these riders, and then we'll take a quick look at the results. They may. I'm going to give it a second though here before we actually get. I'm going to make sure that I get this from the RD as well before we make any kind of official announcements.
I would just say for folks watching, Nathan, these are the nuances of racing on Zwift, right? So because of the subtle differences between where the avatars and how you're seeing it from your perspective.
Server. It comes down to servers.
Right.
So
exactly.
there's a tick rate between my computer and what I see and the servers, right? And so that might have just been